Hi everyone, this is a short video to give you a few pointers for Learning Portfolio B, and you'll see that's due at the end of week 11 and that it's worth 40%. So obviously you want to make a good job of this. This is your second written piece of assessment and you've already done a portfolio, so hopefully it'll be pretty straightforward, and this time you'll be reflecting on or reporting on modules 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So as with Learning Portfolio A, if you've worked through all the readings and activities for those modules, it really should be quite straightforward. There are more questions, there are more modules that we're covering this time, so it will take you a bit longer. So please don't fall into the trap of thinking that you've got heaps of time and you'll start it a bit closer to the due date. It's actually not the sort of thing you can do just 1 or 2 nights before. There are some activities that you will have to put some time into, so just be aware of that. So as with any of your assessment tasks, the first place to really look to get that overview is the unit profile, and I hope you've all got a copy of that by now. But let's also take a look on Moodle to see what's what. That's where the unit profile is. If you have misplaced your copy for whatever reason, please make sure that you do take the time to read that assessment description. And then of course you're very familiar with the assessment block here, and this is where we will go to get more details about Learning Portfolio B. It's also where you will go to upload your assignment. So the task description is there, as well as the template. I think sometimes students go straight to the template, but we really want you to have a look at that task description very closely first. So let's have a look at that first of all. Now, the due date is there, the weighting, the number of words. You'll see, as with Learning Portfolio A, there's quite a broad range there. And we still say 10% over is okay. Whoops, lost it. But I wouldn't write too much less than the 1600 because you just won't have the depth in your answers. So yes, it's a series of short answers. Please don't submit a PDF file, or we won't be able to give you detailed feedback on your assignment. Please write in sentences. And as with Learning Portfolio A, we're not expecting formal referencing, but if you do want to quote from something or other, just put it in inverted commas and tell us where you got it from. And we give you the questions for each module and the tasks, obviously. We also give you a guide here as to how much you can write for each module, not for each question, for each module, but it is just a guide. It's the overall length that really matters. It's just to try and help you pace yourself. Now, the assessment criteria is here. Make sure you check that out. As with Learning Portfolio A, we're looking for depth of thinking and application of the specific concepts that you've learned. So we want to see that you're really showing off your knowledge, that you are referring very specifically to the concepts that you have learnt about. And of course the other overriding criterion is your communication skills. Please take care with your spelling and grammar and try to write in a concise and clear way. If you are having trouble with your word limit and you're way over the word limit, remember there is some advice for you there in Module 3 on how to cut back. You'll also see the weightings for each of the modules, so that's something that you should check out as well. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about modules 6 and 10 because they're a little bit different. So module 6 is reporting on your oral presentation, and one of the things that you must do is include a copy of your speech. Now, some of you might be very confident speakers and perhaps you only used a few bullet points. That's okay, but for the purposes of this assignment you will need to submit those and flesh out the points a bit more detail so we can see that you have done it. And that you've given some thought to the structure and you've based it on the advice that was given to you in the module. So for This particular assignment, you can upload more than one file, so you might like to upload a copy of the speech separately, or you can copy and paste it and put it at the end of Learning Portfolio B. If you do that, just indicate that in 6A that you have done that, so the marker looks for it at the end of your assignment. Now, the other module that's a bit different is Module 10. This is about critical thinking, and this is not so much about self-reflection. So what we're going to do is ask you to analyse an article. Now, you have a choice of 2 articles, and they're both available for you on Moodle. What price pressures playtime, or Australia's binge drinking culture puts mental health at risk. So there's similar levels of difficulty. It's really up to you and which one you think is more interesting. I would scan through both of them and get a feel for them. And also look at the questions and what it is that you are going to be asked to do in response to those articles. So you will need those articles before you can complete that. If you have completed all of Module 10, it's really going to set you up very nicely for doing that. There's a practice activity in Module 10, so that will set you up for being able to analyse the article that you choose for Learning Portfolio B. So Module 10 is something that might stretch you a little bit. Some of the questions will make you think, but if you have completed all of Module 10, you should be pretty right. So just to point out the template again, you'll be typing in your answers as you did for Learning Portfolio A. Don't forget to put your name and student number here. And the idea is that you build this gradually, so at the end of Module 6, when you have done your oral presentation, you come in and then you complete those questions, save your document, and then keep coming back to it as you complete each successive module. So it's not supposed to be a big stress in that last week. So this is where you can find those articles, and I would download them, print them out, take notes. You might have to give the article more than one read. Don't feel bad if you have to do that. You probably will, because as I said, those questions will, really make you think. And of course, this is where you will come to upload your assignment as well. Now, I should have said in relation to Module 6 that you can also upload PowerPoints and additional resources. We often find that distance students especially want to share this with us, and we do love to see all the hard work that you've put into it. So sometimes people share the evaluation sheets that the audience members have filled out, and all of that can be uploaded. Just be careful, if the file is too big, it can cause a few problems. So if it is a PowerPoint, just check how big it is as a file. You can save them as PDF files sometimes, that's a way around it. So that's the only thing, just watch how big the file is. That can trip people up a little bit. So that's about it for for Learning Portfolio B. I was going to say, I do think sometimes for distance students, they get a bit stuck on Module 6. They worry about the oral presentation and they're not quite sure how they'll go about doing it. So if that's the case for you, I would suggest that you contact your support lecturer and they can talk over a few ideas with you. But it's not meant to be something that's a huge hurdle for you. That's not the point of it at all. So please don't let it be an obstacle to you and in getting started on Learning Portfolio B. I really hope that you get some valuable learning from all of that. Your last piece of assessment for prep skills, so that's pretty exciting. All the very best with Learning Portfolio B.